Most builders build their project completely backwards. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can turn your ideas to MVP and actually get business owners on a sales call. And to start off, my biggest lesson as a content creator is stick to simplicity, man. Like, there's way too many complex AI systems and complex NAM workflows that I have no idea what they're even about. And with these business owners, we are not really different between them, right? You know, these business owners are not like these high-tech aliens from a different planet that are going to take over the world, right? They're just your average human being. So when you are saying something that's very complex, how does that affect their dream outcome? Is there going to be a lot of effort and sacrifice in understanding this complex system? Like, can this help a business owner now, or do they have to spend like 5 or 10 hours trying to understanding it? And then what's the perceived likeliness of them using it on a day-to-day basis? And this is the offer equation, and you really have to just really think about how you can implement this within your AI offer, right? So basically, I asked ChatGPT, like, what do you think is better introduction for a busy business owner? And they say, yeah, pretty easily the MVP website every single time. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can turn your idea to a quick and easy MVP using Codex. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, to start off, we are going to be using, if you have never used Codex, I highly recommend because it is way cheaper and just so efficient at just hammering out products. I really love with this product recently how good it is. And we're going to name this Awesome. So in order to create a project, what we have to do is hit this plus button and then scroll down, hit sites, and we have our own authentic site that we can really display to a business owner. And a lot of people really trust ChatGPT, I've noticed. And your average business owner is probably going to be using ChatGPT. They're not probably going to be understanding Make.com or NAN. They're just using ChatGPT. So when you use a ChatGPT site, that will really interest them. Wait, you can do that? Wow, I didn't know. Which is exactly the point. So I think for this SaaS, a really good offer would be basically a content system where they can upload all their content data, and it can basically really just help them visualize and just see all their leads and whatnot. So without further ado, let's build this, shall we? Create me a simple, super effective tool where we can basically have a dashboard that displays all their Instagram and TikTok information whenever they upload it. We want this to basically be a MVP. We just want to show a business owner a really pretty website that can kind of just help the business owner understand that we can build a very helpful dashboard for their business to understand their content, to see bottlenecks, and really just help them when it comes to understanding what is working, what is not working, and how to make that 10 times better for their business. And then we're going to put it into plan mode. And then we are going to use a Luna, which is the cheapest model. And honestly, you don't need to have like this very super intelligence when it comes to planning things. You can use ChatGPT's cheapest model, Luna, for just planning. So without further ado, let's see what happens. I really love how ChatGPT has added sites to Codex because it has made it like so accessible for people like myself to build SaaS and just show it to other people. And like with this sites, like we can make pretty MVPs, which is just such a blessing in disguise. And then basically Codex is asking us a couple of questions where we're probably going to do a CSV upload. And then we are going to do probably a more techie kind of feel because, to be honest, if I'm building something, it normally should have that very dark perspective. And then we're just going to make it very simple, just browser only, super simple, so that the business owner can just really see the value of like what we're trying to do. All right. And we're going to use Luna to basically build the basic MVP so that when we see our site, we can actually give it some good feedback and then use smarter models to really improve just the site. And I like using cheaper models to kind of just build the basic frameworks because all these models are really capable now. So that's the amazing thing about Codex. It's impressive just like how Codex and ChatGPT has it. Because if you view some of my older content, like the space has changed rapidly. I used to be just a maker and then Codex and Cloud Code came in, changed the whole game, where now we're just building with these IDEs. So this is pretty clutch, to be honest. All right, Codex is finally done. And as we can see, our website is called Social Signal. It looks pretty basic. As you can see, it's doing some basic stuff. We got Instagram, TikTok, followers, engagement. Really pretty stuff. Quick tip. Baseline, of course. And the point of this is to basically have something that can really just as their data. And I really like this. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of the color scheme. And then we can so we can just like drop my pieces of content. And then obviously it needs all of these. But now we are going to use Soul and we are going to use Ultra Mode to make this really pretty and just audit this. So we're going to do audit. And this is a personal GitHub repo that I have downloaded, which has been so handy. And we are going to audit our system. And as you can see, just like how useful this would be, like we can just like analyze just content. And like the purpose of this is to basically just like show the founder just something that we can just really work with. And like it doesn't have to be like 100% accurate. It's just for show and tell to basically get the MVP, make the business owner invest in the idea and actually hop on a sales call and kind of just like lay out all the details. And obviously, you want to make sure that all of this is feasible. Like, can you upload both all the content and it will give tips with your content, or all the numbers are accurate? Like, obviously, you don't want to oversell something that you have no idea what you're doing. That's why you want to do it MVP, to kind of just get more information. Because imagine you're selling something technical, they have no idea what you're doing. So you don't get that amazing feedback to improve the product, to really actually do something to work with. I think that's the point of these sites, is because of that reason. So I'm all right. So let's see the final verdict. So basically this is a acceptable product, but it has no anti-patterns. The theming is terrible. Accessibility is terrible. Contrast too low. Dialogue incomplete. Data lacks accessibility. All of this stuff. And now we are going to run high because that's a really good model with Soul. And we are going to basically have it do all of these actions, and then it will just go out, improve our product. Then we're going to build this in public to our school. So then we can actually see if our product is validated. With school and your offers, what you can do as we're waiting for our site to be improved and really just look perfect, you can basically put your MPP in Discord like this and basically get just so much feedback. Like I put this into this school community just to see what people had to say. Model selection is the easy part. Really useful resource. Like all these people are just helping you really improve your offer so that you can really appeal to the business owner. And this is what we're talking about. This is just such a useful thing to have because you can build a NDP, get some real people to give you feedback. And then with that feedback, you can improve the MVP, understand what you need to do on the technical side. And then when you're talking to these business owners, you have a good idea of just what they could say or what they actually want. That's why it's so important to show your offer to other people, is because let's say you build a NAN workflow and you're just cold DMing people. Like you're not going to get any feedback because most cold DMs just lack the criticism and just feedback that people in the community have. And I think that's the biggest problem, which is why I really like showing your product or MVP to people and just getting some insights on like how you can improve and just what to do. That's a really important lesson of just getting that market feedback and just seeing if your offer is something that people want. Remember the offer value from the beginning. If you can talk to the average agency owner about your offer and it's actually a pain point for them, it's probably a good thing. All right, so it just did the audit. It did improve it a bit, but as you can still see, there are just like a lot of like weird, like it's just stuff that Soul did, which is kind of interesting. But as you can see, this is one of the difficult things about building with AI is that sometimes weird things can happen, and this happens way too often. So I think the most important thing that we can do is basically paste this into the school community, say, hey, I am doing a YouTube video where I am, instead of overbuilding, I am showing what I have built to founders to basically really improve my offer. I think that it would be cool if you could interact with this and be included in my YouTube video. What we're going to do is we're going to basically have this be shared to anyone on the internet. We're going to publish it. And then we're going to ask Soul to fix these weird marks real quick. Primary color should be dark, second should be blue, and then third should be white. Instead of this very like light tinted orange. And then I like this light purple for the most part. We just need a darker blue because this does not look really ideal. If you could fix those, I think that we have a really good NTP for a business owner to look at. But as we're waiting for this to be built, I think that it is really important to basically understand that like this space is just changing rapidly and that there's no harm in just like being kind of just weirded out by just the fast progress that everything is moving and like being weirded out about it and being uncomfortable. Because like the reality is I'm comfortable with these tools as well. Sometimes a little weird, confusing. Hey, at least I've done this for the past like 3 or 4 years. So I understand it deeply than most people in this industry. And then the nice thing about this is that you can niche the website to the demographic you're trying to target. So let's say you're trying to target like a dentist, you could have all their content be like dentist based. And that's another amazing thing about this is that if you have a certain demographic that you want to reach out to, you can definitely have Codex really just help you grab that niche. Because with a NAN, that workflow is going to be the same for me, my next door neighbor, the dentist. It doesn't matter. It's going to be confusing to everyone. So, all right, we have a preview of our new app, and it looks 10 times better. But I just think it's crazy that ChatGPT was hallucinating, and we just got these weird marks in our app, and it just shows that the importance of like doing an MVP first, because if you have a technical thing that's super complicated, bro, who's the business owner is gonna hallucinations first, which is never a good sign. But yeah, I really like this new site we're gonna be building. And then yeah, I moved my camera over here so that you can see the final product. But to be honest, with how like weird this website looks. Ah, wow, look at that. Wow, this is perfect. As you can see, it has that beautiful blue color. It looks very clean. It removed all the hallucinations. This looks so clean. Wow. I'm actually impressed. And obviously, this is not perfect, but hey, we got our beautiful website. PP. All right. So we're going to say, hey, we built this MVP for a on just why your offer should be super simple and use a ChatGPT site and a NAN or Meg.com. You to perfect. And then we fit that, and now we will get just so much back for our offer. So if you're not being able to have until calls, you can just build an MVP, give it to the community. The community gives you feedback. And with that feedback, you improve the offer and make it 10 times more appealing to the clients you're trying to get after. So thank you so much for your time in this YouTube video. Without further ado, please join my model marketing community. Completely free. I talk about just everything that I'm doing, and I kind of just explain just what I'm researching or learning. So without further ado, thank you, and see you in the next video.